Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and we are at the Fireside Games booth at Origins Game Fair 2018. I got the right year this time.
Yay, that's important.
Yep. And I even got the right day because I haven't said it yet. And we're going to start by playing Crackles with, I believe his name is Justin.
Yep, that is correct. That is me.
Witt.
Boom.
Kind of like, well, not like Three's Company DeWitt, but
actually,
hey.
she's a distant relative.
Is she really?
Yeah, like a 13th cousin or something like that.
Oh, so like no stardom for you.
No, she doesn't know we exist now.
All right.
But thank you for the obscure reference that shows my age. That's awesome. Hello, Internet. So, Crackles. Crackles is an abstract strategy game that we have coming out later this year. It's based on the idea of crackle birds, which are a crow-like bird that are common kind of all over the southern U.S., actually into South America too. They're known for a couple of things. They're loud, they're noisy, and they are very, very colorful. The males are basically iridescent, like black and purple and shimmery blues and blacks and things like that, with some green thrown in, which is where we got the color inspiration for the game. The other thing they do is they're known for lining up on phone lines, especially as the sun goes down, and that's what the game is about. You're going to put birds on phone lines and try and get more of them out there than everybody else. It's a very, very simple game to play in terms of rules, but there's a lot of strategy hiding in here. So it's an interesting abstract with a bit thinky, but also very, very colorful. So the way you play is on your turn, you get one thing you can do, and there are 4 choices of what to do with that action. You can lay down a tile. So here, if you want to go ahead and show that, we'll get started on how the tiles work. You start with these tiles right here. So these ones with the little black triangles become your starting tiles. They have all 4 colors on them in different arrangements. So on your turn, one of your actions could be draw a new tile, flip it over, figure out where you want to orient it, and then it has to be orthogonal to one of the existing ones. So I can do something like that. Another option would be making a line of birds. So actually, let me do it this way. This would be a better example. If I were the purple player, a line of birds means starting on one dot of your color, ending on another dot of your color, and filling everything in between in. So you take over the whole line. That's how you make a line of birds. The longer the line, the better. So you're going to cover up more spots. Once it's covered, no one else can use those spaces. I can't cross them. Other players can't cross them. It's cut off. So another thing you might do is later on, if someone else were to come along and lay a tile down, I can extend my line. So for free, this guy just gave me another space, making my line a little bit longer. What I couldn't do is go 90 degrees. Like say, for example, somebody played this. I can't connect that. The line has to be extended, not bent. So that extending is the only thing you're allowed to do. The last thing you can do is to rotate a tile. So if someone were to play a tile in a way that I didn't like for example, that was going to let blue get a whole bunch of points if they played that, I might go ahead and as the purple player, spend one of my rotate tokens and then rotate this. I have to keep it in the same position, but I can rotate it to get it a little more to my advantage kind of thing. Now, because you only have 5 tokens, you can never get into a rotate war because you run out of tokens too soon kind of thing. But that lets you have a little more flexibility. If nobody did anything, I could come along and go, awesome, thank you for more points. So that's the idea of how you play. Now, one of the, that green player, never trust him. One of the things about the game is it's a floating game board, and what that means is it can never be more than 5 by 5 in any direction. So if someone were to come along and play a tile here, that's it. We've hit our top 5. We can only build the board out this way. The remaining turns will be spent laying, green player? The remaining turns will be spent laying out the tiles, and then we'd be placing tokens and stuff. Eventually, all 25 tiles are out, and no one can play a bird or rotate a tile or anything, and that's how the game ends. We then would count up all the birds we got out on the lines and see who has the most, and that's the winner. So it sounds very simple, because it is, but there's a lot of strategy in where you place, what you leave, where you put your birds, where you don't put your birds, and what you leave for your opponents kind of thing. So that is Crackles in a, minute-and-a-half overview kind of thing or whatever? Close. Did it? Nice. My mental clock's not too far off. And as long as you don't let the green player play, you're good.
It's you.
Yeah. Don't trust that guy.
Don't trust that guy.
Yep.
He's just a driver.
Oh, okay. There you go. So there you go.
All right, so what else?
What else? All official. Well, Remnants over there. But why don't we actually grab the other copy and I can show you that a little more close up, because those guys are still playing. They probably will be for a while.
All right, let's do that.
Cool.
I will pause.
Click. All right.
Now, they do have the caveat that
Oh, we're live? All right. So, through the magic of time travel, Remnants is all set up. Look at that. Excuse me. Time travel. So, Remnants is a post-apocalyptic survival game where each player is in charge of a compound
and they're trying to build it up with the various cards we're going to buy, because every other turn we're going to get attacked by either Mad Max style bandits or crazy mutant animals. So you know what's coming and you have to start getting ready for it. This is done in a combination of a real-time resource race where we're going to be rolling dice to collect resources. We bring back those resources and we spend them on the development deck, which is essentially kind of an engine builder where you're going to build up both special cards that help you break the rules and generate more resources, weapons cards to attack the bad guys, and defensive cards to build up shields against the bad guys, kind of thing. So, game's cut into a couple of different chunks. The first chunk is going out and getting the resources. The way that works is each compound has a number of survivors in front of it. Most of them start with 4 normal survivors and 1 specialist. Specialists all break the rules somehow, getting you resources a little bit differently. Sanctuary is different. It doesn't have a specialist, but it has 1 extra survivor. So everybody's playing a slightly different Sanctuary. And the way you, the first part of the game is to commit your scavengers. That means literally putting them on the board, because these are your workers that are going to bring back resources. You can put your workers out either into the sandy part of the board, which is where they'll be racing to get these resources, or you can send them to the edge of the board here that looks like a ruined city. This is where they go for looting. Looting is going to be how you move the cubes that are on your board up and down. So there's like 2 kinds of resources you're managing. Core resources for buying cards, and loot, which is your player board. So the more people you send, the more dice you'll roll in looting. So I'm going to be a little conservative and just send 4 for scavenging and 1 looter. So now let's talk specialists, because you and I both have one. You have a scrounger. Normally what's going to happen is when this gets started, we are all going to roll our dice, all 4 dice, trying to get 3 of a kind as fast as you can. You can re-roll your dice. Wow, I'm good at this. Re-roll your dice in any format you want, all of them one at a time, re-roll, keep dice, whatever you want. When you get 3 of a kind, that's when you stop, take that resource, and put it on one of your scavengers. They're literally going to bring that resource back to you. Then you scoop up all your dice and keep going. The advantage you have here with the scrounger is they hit on a pair. They only need to roll 2. So everyone else in your troop needs to roll 3, they only roll 2. My guy is a hauler. He can carry more than 1. Normally everybody else just brings back 1 resource. This guy can bring back another 1. I still have to roll for it, but he can carry 2 of them. So those are the 2 advantages we're playing with. Sanctuary over there just has 1 normal people, and they're just out there getting normal stuff. So, we've committed our people, which is step 1 of the game here. Let me put this back. And the resources on the board, you might notice, are conveniently matching the number of players. 3 resources, 3 players. The other thing out here are bonus tokens. These octagon, actually shaped like a stop sign, because they're what stopped the round. See how we did that? The way that's going to work is, when your people are filled up on resources, the round is going to end when the last bonus token is claimed. You get a bonus token by getting 3 stars. So, you can take a bonus token anytime you want, as long as you rolled 3 stars, but when you do take that token, you're done. You can't scavenge anymore. So the idea being, you want to fill up your people, then get a bonus token, unless you're in a position where it makes sense to shut the round down and block your opponents out, because if a round ends and you don't have all your stuff, you're probably going home empty-handed, so it can be an advantage to that. So, first thing that's going to happen, we are going to flip over a Badlands card. This is basically, we send our people out into the nuclear wasteland. This is what's waiting for us. Oh wow, it's a bad one. Heat wave. You have to injure 3 different scavengers. So the guys who went into the sandy desert are way too hot. You have to flip over 3 of them to their injured side. Now, that looks bad, and I won't lie, it is, but here's the thing. Your scavengers are still able to scavenge. They will bring back resources. What it means is they're now a little closer to dying. If they get injured again, they're gone. So we're going to want to probably get some medicine to heal them. So, with that said, everybody ready? We're going to roll our dice. When you roll 3 of a kind, take that resource, put it on a scavenger, pick up your 4, keep going. When you've got everybody full, grab the stars and get a bonus token. We'll do that as a separate phase. So first, we're just getting resources. All right.
That is the entire Badlands.
And if you go ahead and call it out, everybody knows what we're running out of. So yep, plastic. Oh man, there's not much wood left.
Like,
Oh boy. Oh. Yes, wood. Haha. Cloth. Oh boy.
Plastic.
No, rope.
I'm loaded, so what do I get?
You start going for stars now. Stars, you get bonus token. You take any of the bonus tokens on the board, or I should say either of the bonus tokens on the board.
Got 3.
All right, there you go. Grab yourself a Mad Max there. And I am going to keep rolling because I really, yes, metal, haha, whoa. All right, so now I'm full. I'm going to start going for stars. Yeah, look at you staying over there. Remember how balanced you said those dice were?
Metal.
Yep. All right, cool. I got my stars. I'm grabbing this. That ends the round. So, like musical chairs, when the last bonus token is claimed, that ends the round. Now, there's a mechanic in the game where the person that didn't get a bonus token, if you have at least one scavenger who didn't get anything, you can get one of whatever's left on the board for that person. If you had 5 scavengers, you still just get one thing. So, here's where you want to think about what you might want, because what we're doing is getting costs. The resources we bring back are the economy that we use to buy these cards in the game. Different cards in the game do different things, but they're all awesome for us. Weapons cards have this little like jagged edge thing on top, and the way they work is you pay the cost, you bring it back. The fist icon is one die you're going to roll against the bad guys, and the thing about our dice is if you look close, they have a symbol and pips. We were just using the symbol for the resource phase. We'll use pips for combat. The more pips you roll, the higher you'll do damage. The guy we're going to fight has 5 health when he's coming. We know the gliders are coming, so I'm going to have to get 5 pips. It means I'm probably going to need to roll multiple dice, so I'm going to want to buy a couple of these weapons cards. The other option is defensive cards. Every blue shield on a defense card automatically knocks the bad guys down by 1. You don't even have to roll dice. So if I had this wood fence worth 2 blue shields, I would automatically have our 5-point guy down to 3, which means I only got to get a 3 on my dice. It's a little easier. Adding up a combination of weapons and shields is awesome. That's how you want to win the game. The other thing, though, are the special cards. Specials do all sorts of things like generate resources, break some rules, get you VP. Over here, we've got a scrap pile that is going to generate 1 medal if you buy it, meaning every turn when we go buy a resource, you get 1 free medal you get to spend automatically if you have that card. You don't get to bank it, but you do get to spend it. Another one higher up is called the lab. Lets you turn 1 of any resource into any other resource. If you're stuck with extra plastic or something, you can turn that into whatever you need. So these are all awesome cards. They're all worth victory points, and they will build your engine for both combat and doing other cool things. So we finished the scavenge phase. Now we go to looting. Looting is where you're going to bump up these cubes again. Every person you sent looting is 1 roll of 1 die, and you're going to count the pips now. So I sent 1 person. I get a whopping 2 for my loot. You got 3, nice, and you got 4.
Don't I do that first?
Oh yeah, you get a resource. Sorry, I forgot. We were talking about it. We didn't give it to you. There you go. He's got some cloth now. So there you go. So you got your loot. So now you move your cubes up any way you want. You spend those 3 points to move different cubes. Medicine is how you're going to heal injured people. Screwdrivers are spent at a rate of 2 to 1 to generate more dots on your dice. So that's how in like combat, if you're a little short on firepower, you might be able to spend some screwdrivers to bump up your attacks. Scrap's my favorite though. 2 units of scrap equals 1 wild resource. So like, oh man, I didn't get any plastic this turn. Well, I spend 2 scrap, I can play it as a wild. It can be my plastic. So I had, I think it was 2. I'm gonna get 1. Well, I can't even get medicine high enough. I can move medicine to the first 0. You know what, actually? No, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna bump it up to 2 scrap. That's what I'm doing. And you'll notice medicine has 2 zeros before you get to the first 1. It's kind of simulating how hard it is to find medicine in the world, but once you get to that first 1, you'll never go below the first 0.
So these all cost 1 then?
To push up, yeah. Okay. To spend, they come down differently.
Shoot.
I know. There you go. Yeah, first turn you're not going to usually bring back a lot of stuff like that. Okay, so we've done our scavenging, we've done our looting. Then what happens is we bury the old resources. Essentially everything still out there starts falling into the sand. They will be available next turn, but they're on their way out of the game. The next turn they'll get kicked out. So now we bring everybody back. All your people come back. They are still injured. We'll heal them during the healing phase. Starting with the first player, which I think we went ahead and made you now get to spend, oops, I totally did this wrong. All right, I'm rolling for this guy. Oh, I forgot, I have the doubler bonus. So the bonus tokens do different things. I didn't even explain that. He got the Wanderer, which is basically like Mad Max. This guy doesn't do anything for you this turn, but next turn, he's a new survivor you get to send out. He'll work for you either as a looter or a scavenger, and then he'll go away. So he's just like a temporary worker. I got the doubler, means I can take 1 of something I brought back and get another 1 of that. So I'm gonna wait until it's my buy phase to do that, but then that goes away. All bonus tokens are use it and it's done, except for the Wanderer who cycles in next turn. So now you can start spending resources to buy stuff.
So as I understand it, that's 1, 1, and 1.
Of anything, yep. Boom, he's got himself some of that. Sweet, so he got the scrap pile, we replace that. The resources just go back to the pool. And everybody gets 1 buy, we keep going around and around until everybody passes.
Guess I buy the X.
Right on, I like it. So it takes a metal, a wood, and something, so there you go.
Oh, and
that's what the asterisk, oh no, I'm sorry, it's
blood.
Metal rope and a cloth, yeah. It does look like blood, but it's cloth. Right on, so you got those, I'll toss those over here, all right. Metal Sweet. All right. I am going to get... Ooh, I do like that. That's a really good weapon. Could I get 2 of those? Metal? Oh, yeah, I'm going to use my doubler to get a second plastic because that's what the bonus token... I used it, so it's gone. So I'm going to use rope wood, 2 plastics to get the spear gun because I loves me some spear guns. These go here. Rope goes there, cloth there. All right, goes back to you. If you have anything left, you can keep buying. I think you're out of stuff. Yep, he's got a pass too. I've got enough. I might be able to get one more thing. I've got some scrap and a couple of pieces of gear here.
Well, I had okay.
Yeah, I think you spent everything you had. I've got metal, I've got cloth, and scrap. It's not quite enough to get what I want. But you know what? I see what I'll get. I'm going to spend cloth and then use 2 scrap to generate a rope that I don't actually have. And now I'm buying the netting. So I have that in front of me. That goes away. Now we're all completely out of resources. Now, one thing to remember is you do have metal. There's no 1 metal card, but you've got metal going forward. Always remember you get an extra one.
Could I have used that this turn?
Yeah, if you had anything left to spend it on, you could have used it this turn, yeah. Every card is active as soon as you buy it. So that's one of the nice things is your engine gets going real fast in this game. All right, we've done the build phase. Everybody's passed. Jumping down on the little order play here on the bottom of your card, it says fight phase is next. Well, what that means is we look at where we are on the dread track, which I forgot to push forward, but it would be on the gray space. Nothing happens on a gray space. Every time we're on one of these red spaces, though, we're going to have to fight the bad guy. So that turns over. Now we go to the next one where we're going to fight red. If you want, we can actually play through, or we can just jump ahead and I can show you how combat works. Let's go to combat. All right, jump to combat. Cool, it's the good part. Okay, so the way it's going to work is, let's assume that actually you had bought another weapon card, and you had bought another weapon card, and maybe even I bought a... Nah, I'm gonna see what I can do with this. We also would have gone looting, which means we'd all have some screwdrivers, maybe a little more medicine kind of thing, so give yourself some fake screwdriver points there. Alright, the way combat works is everyone's going to fight the raiders as if it's their own unique combat. So it's not co-op, we're not working together, we're all fighting them on their own. You're the first player, so you have to fight them first. So I'm actually going to pretend you bought another cheap card. There. So, we look at what he's got. Here, I'll do this for the camera. It's a 5-point bad guy. He's going to be worth 1 VP because he's a level 1. He's going to reduce our defense by 1 shield, so he's basically taking away one of those shields. If you beat him, you get 1 resource of your choice. If you lose, you take 2 injuries. So, that's the glider. So you are facing the gliders. He takes away 1 of your shields, so we apply shields first. He takes away 1 shield, but you have 2. Now, he's a raider, not a creature, so you don't get the extra shield. But that's alright. You got 1, which takes him down to 4. You're rolling 1 die. Let's see if you can get a nice, juicy point there. So you roll 1 dice, count the pips. Nice. 3. So you've got him down to, 2 left. Now you only have enough...
Wait a minute. He was at 4, that's 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm down to 1. My math is bad. Sorry. So if you spend 2 screwdrivers, that will equal a +1 to your die. Every 2 screwdrivers is another dot, or another pip, sort of thing. So spend those 2 screwdrivers. Boom, you hit 5. The gliders are done. So you did it. You finished them off. You will get 1 victory point, and in our game, ketchup packets are victory points because flavor is the ultimate commodity in a post-apocalyptic world. And then because you beat him, you also get 1 resource of your choice from the supply. So anything you want is yours. Yeah, that's the question where it's like, what do you want to buy next turn, right? And you will be facing the gliders to see what you can do. So you don't have any defenses, so he starts at 5, but you've got 2 dice you're rolling. So roll 2 dice and roll super awesome good. That's not super awesome good. That is 2. You have screwdrivers, but all that's going to do is get you up to 3. So sadly, you are not going to be able to beat the raiders. Oh, I like that. That's good. If only that was legal, right? Right. So the gliders have attacked. You have to take 2 injuries, and injuries are spent any way you want. You could kill a guy for 1 because a second injury kills him, and then wound 1 new person, or you can injure your 2 other people. It's kind of up to you however you want to spend it, but you have to deal with injuries.
Doesn't he get any help with his weapons?
Those were the 2 dice that let him roll. The bonuses on his weapons are particular to the end of the game. He would get an extra scrap and an extra screwdriver at the end of each turn.
Okay.
Now it's my turn. I'm not looking too much better. I have a shield, but he cancels it, so I have to fight him all on my own. I have 1 die I'm rolling, but I do get a +1, and I can re-roll it if I want. He's at 5, so come on, 3. How about 2 instead? I'm going to go ahead. Well, it does get me to 3. There's a lot of 1s on these die, but I'm going to give it 1 more re-roll. Nope, didn't work. My 2 + 1 is 3. I can bump it to 4, but I cannot get him to 5. So he's going to take me out. instead of healing everybody, I'm going to go ahead and kill one person and injure another one. I'm going to leave my specialist healthy, because when a specialist is injured, they don't get their special power. My dead guy goes back to the pool, and we would go on from there. So one of the things I didn't talk about is you can buy more people. And now that we're losing people, it's going to actually matter. You can spend rope and cloth to get one regular survivor, which is basically like buying another worker. It's very, very useful. The other thing you do is upgrade. These specialists that we have are great. Wouldn't you like to have more? Good, because you can. You have to have a healthy specialist, then you pay wood, plastic, and metal. You exchange them. Basically, they do a bunch of push-ups, and now they know how to be someone else. You trade them in, and you get either a hauler, a scrounger, or a rummager, whichever one you want. You can have as many as are in the game. There's no limit. If you want to pile up on one type of scavenger, go for it. They're also worth VP at the end of the game. So there's that. Now, we would keep doing this every cycle with the whole idea of scavenging, the real-time dice rolling, and then we're buying, then we're fighting on every other turn. So in 2 turns, we would face the level 2 guy, which would be turtle bears. They are 7 points of awful coming at us, and when you fight them, they're going to take away one of your dice. They're basically, you roll 1 fewer dice when you fight them. If you beat them, you get a scrap and a medicine, but if you lose, they actually make you discard a card. That's how bad they are. They're worth 2 victory points also, though, so that's pretty good. 2 turns after that, we would fight the final boss. There are 3 bosses in the game. Randomized, I just grabbed this one, and there are 6 boss power-ups, 1, 2, and 3 level. Again, I just grabbed these 2 like this. So here's what we got. King Colossal, the big guy. You might recognize him from the cover of our game. He's pretty awesome. But he's actually really terrifying. He's a 12-point boss. He's worth 4 victory points. He also takes away one of our dice when we fight him. And if we lose to him, he will deal 6 injuries. So he is not a good customer. He also comes with a random power-up. Oh, good. Body armor. He's actually a 14-point bad guy. So we have a little bit of work ahead of us for these next few stages. Now remember, every one of these turns is a full sequence of getting resources and buying. So we won't be defenseless, but I'm not going to say this is going to be easy when he shows up. It's going to be kind of rough. We just literally played like 1 full turn and half of another turn. So you can see it's a quick game. Whole thing plays in about an hour, 2 to 4 players. It's an interesting mix, I think at least, and reviewers have said so too, of a real-time, oh my gosh, we're all going to die phase, combined with a slow engine builder, followed with a combat, oh my god, we're all going to die phase. So we think we've got something a little different here, just a little from us, and we're very, very excited for it. Got some great reviews. It's going to be coming out July 25th, and it's going to be $39.95 when it hits your friendly local game store.
Sweet!
That's Remnants.
Thank
right
you.
there. Oops. That's that blind player.